Hi, Ange. Obviously, the final league game of the season this weekend. How important is it to sign off with a good performance and a good win before lifting the trophy at home in front of your fans?
Yeah, look, it'll be, it's a special day. Kind of makes it all real, I guess, until you get that trophy and get a chance to lift it. You know, it, uh, you're champions, but that's the moment you kind of look forward to. And with the last game obviously being at home, we want to make it a great day in terms of just enjoying every aspect of it, including the game itself, which is probably the most important thing before we do that. And so the boys are determined to try and put on a good performance and hopefully make it a great afternoon.
I appreciate you've been asked about various links between you and other clubs this season, Tottenham, the latest one over the last couple of days. I just wonder how aware you are of that, and has there been any contact that you're aware of?
Well, I'm aware of it because everyone keeps asking me about it, so it's not like. But as you said, it's happened in the past. I think I've been pretty clear that it's just not the way I sort of think and work. I'm kind of, my priority right now is just looking at trying to make sure like I said, we have a special day tomorrow. We've got a big cup final coming up in a week's time. I'm not going to sort of sit there and sort of try and get distracted by things that are kind of fascinating for other people rather than myself. So that's where my focus is, and that's where it'll continue to be. And like I said, we've got a couple of big games, and we've had a fantastic season, and we've got an opportunity to make it a really special one.
Hi, Ange. Aberdeen, just like yourselves, have obviously already kind of achieved what they've set out to do this season. Do you feel like it's going to be a different type of game then, as well as it being the very last game of the season, but maybe kind of lower intensity?
Well, I wouldn't think so. No, I mean, Barry Robson's done an outstanding job with Aberdeen, and like I said, they've shored up third place, and just like us, I'm sure they'd want to finish the season strong. It's a good chance for them to continue on their strong form they're showing this second half of the year, and certainly we won't be trying to dial down the intensity. We want to, we've obviously had a couple of poor performances and results, and whilst we know that there are reasons for that, and me being probably the main person responsible for it with sort of changing the team, that doesn't mean the players aren't disappointed that they haven't been able to perform at the levels they want. And tomorrow's the last opportunity we get to do it in the league, so from our perspective, we'll certainly be going in there to play the same sort of intensity and tempo we usually do.
You say you take most of the responsibility because of the changes that you've made to the team in recent weeks, but is there any concern there at all with the cup final coming just off the back of the way the team has performed recently?
No, not really, because like I said, there's a reason we did what we did, and I think in the context of the football we want to play, I don't think it'll get affected. The main thing for me is to make sure we kind of get through tomorrow, hopefully again unscathed in terms of injuries. And cup final is a different game. I've said 1,000 times that cup games are totally different to any other game you play. So form leading into it, even if you're flying, doesn't guarantee you a result, and even if you're struggling, doesn't mean you're not going to do well. We'll go into that game cup final irrespective of what happens tomorrow, ready to play our best game of the year. So that'll be our intent.
Hi, Ange. Obviously, you talked about all the links and stuff like that. I just wonder how much you feel there still is to achieve here at Celtic, not only obviously this season, next week, but over the course of next season and beyond as well.
That doesn't really change. There's always stuff to achieve. I mean, we, as a football club, you have that responsibility here to deliver success, to play football a certain way, and that doesn't change. I mean, just because we won the double last year didn't mean we went into this year thinking, okay, we don't have to be as strong. We have to be stronger. So the challenge is always there. It doesn't matter, irrespective of what you've achieved so far. And if ever you kind of lose that focus, then you probably find yourself out of a job, because that's the demands that this football club places on the people who represent it. And so like I said, we've got a chance to win a cup final and make it a special year. And come the start of next year, we all start on zero again, and the opportunity's there again to try and improve and be stronger for what's ahead.
And is there an update on Alistair Johnson? Is he able to play this weekend and be okay for the cup final?
Yeah, he's good. He's good to go, so he'll play tomorrow, and hopefully he gets through that. I mean, in terms of the cup final, we'll just see. But he's good to go. Harry Moy's still struggling with his sort of back complaints, so he'll miss out and probably doubt for the cup final. Sayed, who came off the other night, actually is not as bad as we thought. He'll miss tomorrow, but he's actually, we think, he's a good chance for the cup final too, which is good for him and sort of good for the group. And everyone else sort of, provided they get through tomorrow, should be fine for the week ahead.
Hi Ange, how you doing? How proud a moment is this going to be for you on Saturday, lifting another Premiership trophy at Celtic Park in front of your fans?
Yeah, it's always, because it's all of it's sort of hard earned. It's on the back of people, really, buying in and believing in something, and sacrifices being made, and getting through those moments of doubt whenever they occur, and pushing on and taking on every challenge. So because of all those things, I don't think anything is given to you. You have to earn everything. And like I said, there's a great responsibility at the start of every season at this football club to deliver success. So, come that moment on, tomorrow when we lift the trophy, I'll be extremely proud of the group, proud of everyone else who's been involved, from not just people within Lennoxtown, but people at Celtic Park who work for the football club. We represent all of them, and for our supporters, we've delivered another trophy, another hopefully memorable year for them, and that's the reward you're seeking.
And this title win takes you into Champions League group stages when you like to get your business done early in the transfer market. How far down the road are you with transfer targets, and are you close to confirming anyone?
No, we're not sort of close to confirming anyone, but our work started. It's started sort of a while back. It's an ongoing thing. I think this transfer market will potentially, I said before, could be a tricky one for us. I think it's the first one where potentially they could come first, some of our key players, and we've got to be ready for that. We've got to sort of, ensure ourselves against those kind of things happening. So, we've identified players we kind of think will make us a better side, but also give us the insurance that if we lose a couple, then we're still in good shape. And over the course of events, those things will get announced. But the work is always ongoing.
Hi Ange. Postecoglou was recently awarded the Cinch Premiership Player of the Season amongst other Player of the Season awards. Just how important has he been? He was obviously one of your first signings at the club. How important has he been to all the success you've had at Celtic?
Yeah, look, he's been vital, I guess, because in every team, you work hard to create a sort of structure that gives you the opportunity for success, but you need those guys who are going to deliver. In terms of in football, the hardest thing to do is score goals, and he's done that. I think he's been outstanding this year. Sometimes I think, your second year as a striker is more difficult than your first, because I think, fair to say, last year he kind of maybe caught people by surprise a little bit, but there's no secret that when we play, he's the main focal point, and oppositions do everything they can to try and stop him. They obviously, research him, look at what he does, and within that context, he's still delivered, and he's delivered, more regularly this year and in the big games. Again, I think for a guy to score sort of 2 goals in 2 cup finals is pretty special, and he's had an outstanding year, and it's great to see him rewarded by the others.
John Kennedy has been the news recently after being linked with the Hearts job. I just wanted to ask you, as someone who came into the club without taking your own backroom staff with you, how important has John Kennedy been to the success in your time at Celtic?
Yeah, again, I think I've said before, he's been vital, because, as you said, I sort of came in by myself. I wanted to sort of assess, the people that were here. I guess coming off an unsuccessful year before I arrived, it was easy for people just to use that as their only reference point. But, I took it further back than that. And John's been part of this football club for a very long time in various roles, and he's enjoyed a hell of a lot of success, and he's been part of that success. And, he's very experienced. He's really well organised. He works hard. He sets really high standards for his work, and for a lot of the time he's the one that's leading, training and sort of the way we go about things. And he's been fantastic for me, as I'm sure he's been fantastic for the other coaches and managers he served with.
Hi, Ange. Last season in the Champions League, obviously we come up against Real Madrid, who are the reigning champions. The groups for next season are starting to take shape as season's ends. Is there any particular tie that would be really interesting for you to take on as Celtic manager, or is it just take who we get and see how we go?
Yeah, look, I remember last year everyone's going to give us Real Madrid. Well, we got Real Madrid. I hope everyone's happy. Look, the reality of it is, whoever it's going to be, it's going to be fantastic games, fantastic opposition, great spectacles, and our job is to try and make it, a special experience for us as a football club. And that's, I've said before, we need to be a Champions League football club, and the only way you can do that is to be there every year, and every year chip away and try and put yourself in a position where, one year everything aligns and you can make some sort of impact in it. But it's not going to be easy, irrespective of who we get. But it equally is just as exciting. I don't think there's anyone you could possibly get in the draw that you wouldn't be, excited about facing or playing, whether it's at their stadium or here at Celtic Park.
Yeah, and just I think about 2 years ago, you just come in. We'd finished 25 points off first place. We were trophyless for the first time in a long time. Since then, you've won out of 4 out of 5 available trophies, and now you're going for a world record domestic 8th treble. It's just been a joy watching your team, and it's been great to have you as a manager. And I guess just best of luck for the cup final.
No, thank you. I appreciate it. And it is important to, understand that, not for me, but for us as a football club, what we've sort of achieved over the last 2 years. Like you said, we came off a season where, for this football club to be trophyless is tough to take, for everyone involved. And, we had to turn that around quickly. We couldn't have 2 years where this club was trophyless. That couldn't happen, and it wasn't going to happen under my watch. And I've just been really proud of everyone's efforts to win the double last year and then come back this year and say, what, that was great, but we want to be better, and we're giving ourselves now a chance to do that by winning a treble. So and the supporters have been a big part of that. They've been a big part of the journey. I think that's, for me, that's been the most special bit. It's been a collective thing of everyone involved in the club. In and out of the club has all been going in the same direction. And hopefully we've got a special sort of 7 days coming up.